Back to my turn. I'd really want to cancel. Whoops. Whatever. Come on down, you big beast. So if we throw down Zirda, can I still get Coma? I think so. Let's just play the Coma. Oh, we can get the Zirda as well. Alright, cool. What's up, everybody? My name's Chance, and I have a very interesting deck for you today. And I know you're probably wondering, based off the title, or based off the thumbnail, or based off of the two creatures that you see here, what the heck am I talking about? We got a Zirda, the Dawnwaker, and we got a Svella, Ice Shaper, and I'm calling it a control deck, obviously based on the fact that Svella's a troll. But how am I making these two work together, and how am I making this the best control deck you've ever seen? Well, let's dive into it. So we have a 3-mana 2/4 solid creature. Obviously, this can block up against the aggro decks fairly well, as 4 life is a lot to deal with if you just got a bunch of little 1 mana or 1 power, 2 power creatures, right? On the flip side of that, we have the ability, this 8 mana ability, tap, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may cast a spell from among them without paying its mana cost, but the rest on the bottom of your library in any random order. Now, this ability of, paying X mana, whatever that X may be, and then playing a spell for free, we've seen it through the ages. It's a very busted ability if you can hit it right. And so, we have Zirda, which reduces the cost of activated abilities by 2, and Svella, which makes the activated cost go down to 6. So for 6 mana, we can look at the top 4 cards of our library and play 1 for free. So what's been the trend here recently? Oh, I don't know. Emergent Ultimatum. Genesis Ultimatum. Playing Yugins in Exile and everything, using Comas for fun stuff. This deck has a lot of big stuff in it, and I know it's going to seem a little scary at the beginning. So I'm going to go ahead and break some stuff down and move it around and shuffle it to, well, basically where it should be, right? So starting out here, we have a lot of these lands that I don't normally play, but in this case, I think it's very important and very pertinent that we take a look at them, given we have such a high top end. But again, we do have this fella, which is allowing us to pull these top end cards out and play them for free. We have the ultimatums, which again, you ramp into these cards, you ramp into the ultimatums, and then they grab you your game winning stuff sort of by turn 5 or turn 7. And we got a few other cards in here that's going to help as well. But let's take a look at the lands that I'm talking about. We have Valakut Awakening. This card is very key in this deck, as it's what allows you to not essentially just be playing with random luck, right? Because generally, if you draw into these larger cards and that's all you have, you're going to have to take a mulligan and have to hope that you find smaller stuff. Valakut allows you to essentially cycle away any amount of cards that you don't want in your hand and draw out basically an entire new one. So you just target the stuff you know you won't be casting for the next long bit, throw it to the bottom, and don't worry about it. And that's one of the things with this deck. With Emergent Ultimatum, even if a card that you really want is on the very bottom of your deck, you can still go find it, right? Because you can search your entire library for a card. So it doesn't really matter in what order your library is or any of that kind of shenanigans when it comes to this ultimatum. Now with Genesis, yes, you don't necessarily want to put stuff on the bottom of your library, but again, this is just an ultimatum which can help you, put a Yugen down for free, put a Coma and a Yugen down in the same turn while also drawing you an Alrund's Epiphany. So now that we've got the top end out of the way, we got a lot of fanciful stuff we're going to be playing today. We're going to be taking extra turns and exiling the opponent's stuff. How are we going to be getting there? Because obviously Svella, it's a 3-mana creature, and we have Zirda, so cool, we're reducing the cost, but it doesn't really explain how we're building our mana. Now, we're actually going to be taking a little bit of a different route. I have built a more serious deck, which we'll be seeing in the very near future. But for today, this is the route that I've taken. We have Jaspera Sentinel down on the 1-mana drop slot, 1 mana 1/2. Of course, tap another untapped creature, and you gain 1 mana of any color. This is actually a really strong ability, and I think people are kind of sleeping on this card. This is like the best Land of War Elves that ever existed. It has reach, it has 2 toughness instead of 1. It's so strong. Any mana produced, right? Then we have Kennen, Bonder Prodigy, 2 mana, 2/2. Whenever you tap a non-land permanent for mana, add 1 mana any type that permanent produced. So essentially, if you use Jaspera, you have Kennen come down on turn 2, you can immediately tap Kennen and have another 2 mana, which opens the door up for your Jawari Disruption to essentially protect these 2 creatures. It's a really strong combo, given oftentimes people see Kennen or Jaspera, they're like, well, that's strong, let's try and remove it. And of course, you have the counter magic immediately available. So you have this, like, what, 5 mana worth of cards able to play by turn 2, which is absolutely insane. And if that wasn't enough, we also have Asika, God of the Tree, as a 2-off copy. 3 mana, 1/4, so again, solid stat lines. Even when it comes to aggro decks, you can block a lot. Has Vigilance, tap, add 1 mana of any color. Other legendary creatures you control also have Vigilance, and tap, add 1 mana of any color. So essentially, your Kennen, your Valki, your Zirda, your Svella, all these cards turn into mana producers, and again, because of the Kennen, they add 2 mana instead of just 1. So you can see how casting this top-end stuff and how using Svella's ability really isn't that hard. Now, the main concept for this deck, and the main thing I want you to take away, is the fact that we have ultimatums in standard, and people play 4-off copies of ultimatums in standard, and hell, I'm playing 6 ultimatums in this deck, and you know what, it wins fairly well. So it's just a good testament to the fact that playing one big powerful card and taking over the game is very well worthwhile in Magic right now. So if you have Svella, you essentially not only have those 4 ultimatums that you may be playing, or in my case 6, you have those 6 or 4 plus another 4, because Svella can reveal an ultimatum and then allow you to cast it for free. So essentially you could hit a 6 mana ultimatum with Svella, and then of course, you know, hit another ultimatum thereafter if you just so happen to have enough mana, which of course this deck can produce for you. Let's also not forget that with our Emergent Ultimatum, we can pull out the Valki and have it turn into a Tibalt. We can pull out a Sika and have it turn into the Prismatic Bridge, right? We can also pull out Godzilla, right? Yurda. Yadaro, great creature, 8/8, trample, haste. So if your opponent's going for like a Toski deck, you can just trample right through them. You can't pull out Yugen with Emergent Ultimatum because it's not a colored card, but again, you can hit this with Genesis, and since you're going to be ramping so much anyways, Yugen should be very, very doable. A couple other notes, we do have Valki in the deck, as I mentioned, with the Emergent Ultimatum. We can play this naturally, as we do have a good mana split in this deck. We can also play Tibalt naturally, as well. We're playing a 4-color deck today. We have the right mana setup. Make sure you're sort of sticking to it, or maybe even improve it if you know math and mana better than I. We have a Mythos of Nethroi, as this is a great sort of destroy all sort of thing. We have a lot of ways of, creating that other white mana that we may need. You may have noticed we also have Fae of Wishes in this deck. It is playable as Zirda, so, it's a really good card to just hop over to your sideboard, grab whatever you want or whatever you like, and deal with the opponent's stuff with haste, right? So use the sideboard I have, make your own sideboard. It's really up to you. The sideboard's not going to be coming into play too often in this deck, but when it does, it is really nice. A few last side notes, we do have Turn Timber Symbiosis, which again acts as a land and can be an option for Emergent Ultimatum, which can help you hit the Coma off of the Emergent Ultimatum. So it's not a direct line to the Coma, but it is still a line to a big creature that has other tokens coming down and all that kind of stuff. So I think that pretty much covers everything. I know this is a longer deck tech breakdown. I do apologize for that, but there's a ton of stuff with this deck, and well, honestly, it's so interactive within itself, and it's so, here, there, but also very connected, that I felt like I really needed to, English is hard. I felt like I really needed to take the time and explain, sort of the connect the dots of it all. Anyways, thanks everybody for watching. If you've enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like down below, comment in the comment section, subscribe for more, because again, we're going to be coming back with a basically upgraded version of this deck very soon, where it's more efficient and more able to use this fella to hit the ultimatums, as I do think that is a very worthwhile thing to invest into. So, stick around for that. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the Ultimate Control deck. Get it? Because he's a troll. Lashimos. I don't know. We're going to keep this hand. We got two of the Sentinels. We can always cycle the Godzilla. So, it'll work out. It'll work itself out. I'm fairly sure of this. We don't get to play the Sentinel turn 1, which is probably the biggest bummer with this hand, honestly. I'm a little confused and a little excited at what the opponent's got here for us. They're playing Azorius, and the first thing they drop is a Giant Killer. Now, it may just be Bont Toski. I've seen that before. But, you got my interest peaked. Losho. Love Struck. It's looking very Bont Toski. Looking like you're going to Toski a few things my way. So I really want to get down the Ice Shaper. What's the best way for me to do this to not give off what I'm doing, right? Is it to move the Zirda over, next turn drop Ice Shaper, and then drop Zirda on it? It's just such a complicated thing. I think maybe we just go ahead and drop the Ice Shaper. Does give them a direct line of sight into what I'm doing, but they can't necessarily remove it. And it's a solid blocker too, so it's like, you know, it's kind of a win-win-win. Let's do it. You gotta make a play someday, you know what I mean? Alright, so I could theoretically... I like when people see a card and they never see it play and they're like, you know what? Fuck these two meta cards. Look at that thing. Look at that interesting one. Take it out. Alright, well. Let's see what we got to punish them for this weak board state of theirs. We have 4 mana. We do have the red. Hey, get off my screen, Mythos. I'm trying to look at stuff here. Can't use the extinction events quite yet. We can use the Iron Crag and get down to Godzilla. That's not too shabby. Not too shabby. Or we go for the Vivian on next turn. Would cost us a little bit of life, but it is a constant generator of stuff. I really like the idea of Godzilla, honestly. Let's do it. They're gonna be like, ah, oh, fuck, they got a Yugen. You don't even understand. Toski. Oh, crap. Yeah, I didn't think about it being turn 4. Maybe I should have just, you know, grabbed something that could deal with Toski. Whatever. I guess we can just swing through Toski with this, right? That's an idea. That is an idea. So I think I want to drop this as red mana, actually. Seven. I mean, doing this just isn't enough, right? Because it won't take out the Toski. We would take out Skyclave and Giant Killer, and we get back a 3/3. But realistically, can I do that without that? Yeah, because 1, 2, 3, 4. So I wouldn't need to use Iron Crag. Well, let's wait on the Iron Crag then. We can always use it later. This gives us a creature to defend with and takes out their attack power for the large majority. I do want to do the Iron Crag, don't get me wrong, it is a good play, but I didn't want to put down a big Godzilla and then them swing back and draw a million more cards and be like, okay, now I have the answer to your Godzilla, and it's just a Giant Killer, right? It's just a Giant Killer, so. See what they got. They got 6 cards in hand. We know that they got a Love Struck over there. Of course, Love Struck, when you have a Toski, it's really hard to deal with. It's odd. Toski's even. Toski has indestructible, so it's not just a simple 1-2 punch kind of thing, which is, again, annoying, but you might could deal with it. Edgewall into Love Struck, yeah. That's a good play. You know, I think this deck doesn't really run too heavy into counter magic, except for in its sideboard here. We will take out the 1/1 human because that makes sense. You know, Toski's not gonna die. Let's just let it through. Let it pass on through. Grab a swamp if we can. We need some black mana for other things. Of course, additional blue does open up the. Of course, we have the Sentinel, so I guess we're fine on that front. Can we actually just cast you hard? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can. So I could always use that Iron Crag later to get down a nifty Yugen off the back of something. We could also go Fae of Wishes, then Godzilla. Get down maximum number of creatures. I almost cycled that. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, no. Okay, wait. Get him, Yadaro. Mess him up. Yeah. What's your indestructible creature? Chum block that. What we really should do is maybe add in an Unleash Fury, and that way we can double Yadaro's power and really stick it to the man, right? Our opponent is the man in most scenarios, situations. Y'all know that. Y'all know how it goes. I really enjoyed this deck, though. I've made another version. I say less fun, but I'll for the sake of not selling myself short, a more efficient version of this deck without the Zirda, right? Because you don't necessarily need Zirda in order for the troll to go off. And 7 mana, realistically, nowadays, it's not a difficult thing. We have ultimatums, we hit those all the time, and the whole point of the troll is the fact that it gives you another way to get to the ultimatums, right? Like, you have the ultimatums and then you have the troll, so it's like, all right, I can do this. I can do it. Why are they swinging in with Toski? They're just tosking it away. Oh. Can I tap? Do I need to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I will have to tap you two. Okay. This is what I got. This is what you're showing me. Fine, game. Fine. I'm alright with that. I am gonna play Valakut down as a land because I just want all the lands I can. Not gonna lie. So Kennen with the Sentinels really good. The fact that we tapped Yadaro, not so much, but you know, sometimes things gotta happen in order for us to have fun. Was that the smart play? I mean, we didn't really hit big, but we could have hit a Yugen. Could have been the smart play. All right, let's see. We do have enough for an Epiphany, so we could, you know, take 2 turns. If we can live through 1, we can take 2, which is a lovely thought. Let's scare them a little bit. Do y'all ever get scared when your opponent's just mousing over their hand and you're deciding on your attackers and you're like, wait a minute, how are they going to do this? What's their plan? I don't actually have a plan. My plan is to try and distract you so you don't kill me. All right, so we're down to 7. We can come back. We can come back. Just don't clear my board. Don't clear my board. Don't leave my Kennen alone. Leave my Sentinels alone. Focus on Yadaro. It's big. It's a Godzilla. It's, you know, a form of Godzilla. There's a lot of forms of Godzilla when you think about it. It's kind of like a Freddy or a Jason. You know, they just exist everywhere. They're going for Yadaro. Let's go. Let's hope we can make them regret that. Of course, Yadaro and Alrund's Epiphany, both of which we have right here, were cards that we were supposed to draw out. Wait. We still have an Alrund's Epiphany, don't we? I'm thinking of a different game. All right, beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, I think we need some black mana. Green mana is not bad, but so what we do here is we do this, and we'll see what mana we have remaining after it, right? But we want to make sure that we can take an extra turn. I want that extra turn. What can I do with the mana now? Is it just move 0 to over? If it's just move 0 to over, that's fine. That's all right. You know, sometimes it's just as simple as that. Do I want to attack? They have 2 edge walls. I can at least swing in with the 3/3, and you never know when that is going to be enough. I would potentially throw the Kennen if I weren't so scared. Actually, we can, right? This is 5 points of damage. If we take out both their edge walls, we are at least taking out 2 of their creatures. Let's do it. Do that trade. They're doing it. They're doing it. Well, I only have the ultimatum to play next turn, so I'm all right with that. I am A-okay with this. Bam. They're down to 9. Ultimatum. It is time for the ultimatum. Birdie. All right. Let's be smart about this. Valky. Check. Asika. Sure. And Alrund, I believe. Or it could go for a turn timber. What is this actually at the beginning of your upkeep? So we'd have to survive a turn after this, and we only have that, and then they have all that. Well, I don't trust that, so let's take you away because I don't trust that as much. Let's throw in a turn timber. Submit. That's my 3. Choose as you will, opponent, but choose wisely. They got 9 life. What can they do? What can I do? We'll see. I could maybe hit a coma. Might just maybe hit a coma off the turn timber. We can play the Zirda down too? Ah, I didn't think about that. We have two people on the board. Maybe Prismatic Bridge was the answer, because that guarantees us to hit something, right? How does Prismatic Bridge work again? Anyways, opponent's making the decision of a lifetime here. Or maybe they went AFK to get some cookies. You know how much I love thinking that my opponent went to go get cookies. Maybe that's because I'm always like, what am I doing? Cast the other cards without paying their mana cost. All right, well, let's do you first. And then this. Sure. Okay. I thought I was doing the Turn Timber first, but whatever. We're doing Valky first. I don't really care one way or the other. Sika, sure. Sure. Let's bide ourselves some time and just drop the Zirda because I'm panicking. I'm not going to lie, I'm panicking. Exile the top card, and we might could play it. We don't really have that much mana. Exile target artifact or creature. I could exile their Skyclave, get a creature back. I could exile their Toski. Hey, let's Toski the Toski. Or their Lovestruck. Let's just go with the Toski. I don't want the card draw. I don't want them to have the card draw, rather. And now we have the Toski. All right. That's what I like to see. So they're down to 6 life. We have a board full of creatures. We have a Tibble, and we have a Toski on our side. I'm going to say a good game because they might just have the answer here, right? But their Lovestruck Beast can't attack. They have the Skyclave, but they do have a lot of mana. So maybe they have the GG here. Maybe they have what they need. Oh, I'm not going to lie. I'm in a very emotional state right now because I don't know what's about to happen. Brazen to bounce the Asika. They got to have lethal, right? Because all they really need is one more Lovestruck or a Edgewall or a... There's the Edgewall, and then an answer for the Zirda, right? No, they don't even need an answer for the Zirda because, yeah, right? Ah, GG, opponent. I tried so hard. Maybe we should have gotten rid of the Lovestruck instead of the Toski. With how low a life we are, just make... Oh! Nice! Oh, no, that's so bad for them and so good for us. Alright, well, let's drop blue. Oh, they're just conceding! Oh. Woohoo! Gomon. It's like a Digimon. We'll keep this hand. It looks really good. We got a turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 play, all of which are, you know, fairly strong, I'd like to think. And of course, we have the proper mana set up for this as well, so it's just feeling so good. So good. The nice thing when we get Kinnan down is we'll still have the mana for the Jawari Disruption to protect our creatures. Right? So, big benefit there. I don't know if we'll need to go full control. Or maybe it'll just happen when they play a spell. Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. That's good magic. Alright, so dealt with that, thankfully. We do want to get you down. Do I want to play... See, if I play red mana... We can tap you, but we're still one off from the actual world tree there. I think I do want red mana because we can still get Asika down just with tap and stuff, right? Might as well foretell this over. Alright, so we got a lot of mana that we can produce next turn, which could equal into a coma, which sounds a little bad, but you know. Yeah, you know what I mean. Let's get down Riverglide. We can use Alrund's Epiphany, gain an extra turn. Or we go for a coma. Epiphany, can deal some damage, but we can't do much else after that, right? I mean, we could do this and maybe pull Zirda over. Alright, well, let's do this. Because, I mean, come on. Turn 4, gain some extra turns, pull Zirda over. Yeah, auto pay that. Back to my turn. I'd really want to cancel. Whoops. Whatever. Come on down, you big beast. So if we throw down Zirda... Can I still get coma? I think so. Let's just play the coma. Oh, we can get the Zirda as well. All right, cool. Oh, is that turn 5? Magma gonna be our first foe. I'll keep. We have 2 Cannons, which I don't like to see, but we do have a Valakut, so if we draw into a few more unfavorables, you know, we'll just play the Valakut, cycle that Cannon, and maybe the Turn Timber. I don't know. We'll see. Cycle that stuff out. Sorry, I have my keys still in my jacket pocket this morning. I do apologize. 3 Cannons. Let's go. When 2's not enough. Alright, so we probably will be going for the turn 3 Valakut Awakening on, you know, Cannon, at least 1 copy of Cannon. Glass Casket, yeah. So I could go ahead and go Valakut Awakening, or I could go ahead and drop another Cannon and Valakut on the next turn. I like the idea of that, so that's what we're gonna do. So we can cycle the all runs and the Cannon, maybe even the Turn Timber. Maybe we just cycle it all. Let's just redraw. Sounds like a great idea, actually. That's the whole reason that we have the Valakut, right? Because we have a lot of high-end stuff. You can get additional copies of your legendary. You got to be able to cycle that stuff out. A Jaspera Sentinel. That is really, really good, actually. Okay. It lands. It doth land. I don't trust them not to have counter magic, so we're gonna leave that back, I think. Just for a minute. Just for a minute. Yeah, in turn. Alright. Omen. Well, if I'm gonna cast this, I think I should cast it now. Cycle these 2. I guess it doesn't really matter. So there's a Zirda and a Mythos. Zirda also makes Kinnon's ability cost less, so instead of costing 7, it'll only cost 5, which that's not too shabby. Of course, we can use Jaspera Sentinel. Ooh. Skyclave to take out. If we can find some white mana, then we can, of course... Oh, whoa. Yeah, we play Zirda, use Jaspera, use Mythos on Glass Casket, right? Oh, but we're going to need more red mana. Ah. That's where that holdup enters. So I don't want to do this. I could go ahead and move Zirda over. I think I'll just leave up mana for Mythos, honestly. But yeah, I'd like to take out that Glass Casket, get a Kinnan back, because once we have Kinnan, we can use Jaspera to tap a creature and gain 2 mana, right? Which, we're getting really close to that ultimatum as well, so might just go for that. We'll see, we'll see. Drawing the basic forest and the basic swamp, not ideal for us, but you know, sometimes it happens. Sometimes you draw your basics. Let's see, let's see. Hard casting. Oh, no, sorry. Casting granted from Fae of Wishes. I was like, yeah, hard casting Fae of Wishes for 4. That makes sense. That's how magic works. Alright, what do they grab here? Showeth me the ways. Shatter the sky. Alright, fine. I just won't build up too big of a board state. I do want to get down Zirda. Once we do get down Zirda, I can remove their Glass Casket, but then they just board wipe me, right? And I just lose everything I just built. So, can't comfortably do that. All right, well, Let's move Zirda over. They don't know that we have one in hand, so they could be thinking, all right, you know, they're setting up. I just don't see why they would shatter, like, right now, right? Because then we just get a 2/2 back and it's whatever. Fabled is good. Fabled I like to see. What do we grab? What do we grab? We already have access to 2 blue and plenty of green if we need it. So maybe a red, actually. Yeah, so that puts us to 6. If I throw down Zirda, again, we can use the Mythos, but I just know that Shatter is going to follow, so it's not really worth it. Alright. Well, let's just hold up mana for the Mythos then. Or no, you know what? We will drop this because we still have mana for the Mythos. And we got 2, so maybe they will, they'll just shatter here. Who knows? The bad thing is we can't use the Mythos mana till after they would shatter. Yeah. Well, we can destroy that shark. Think I shall. No, I don't need to tap Sentinel either. We'll just take it out. Right, like so. We are 1 mana off of the ultimatum, so drawing into mana, good. Drawing into playables, good. We do have enough for Allrun's Epiphany if we happen to draw into another copy of that. You block here because you're pretty sure they go for the shatter. Pretty sure this is the shatter play. Makes sense, makes sense. Yugen. How Yugen doing? That doesn't really work. Anyways, Zirda coming down. I need another land. They're cycling the Triome. Cycling the Triome. Glass Casket, take out our Zirda. They don't seem to have an actual win con, just... I mean, maybe Shark Typhoon is... I mean, that is a win con. Just a boring one. Ah, Archon. There we go. Another Jaspira. Awkward. We've drawn 6 lands of the top 15. You know, it's normally what I enjoy to see, but in a deck like this, and I know I got it a little stacked out the wazoo, it hurts me. Hurts my feelings a little bit. It's like you don't even pay attention to me, Magic. It's like you don't even care about what I put in the deck. Alright, Omens. Speaking about out the wazoo, here they come. Oh, bada 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 bada. We'll give it like one more turn because again, we need 1 land. We got the ultimatums. Of course, if they counter, it's gonna suck. But if they don't, right, then we're living pretty. No blocks because it either, well, no, because we'd have to play for a minute. Damn it. Well, maybe we should have blocked there. Godzilla. I can't play you, but I'll cycle. I just want to see a land, honestly. Come on. You got a movie coming out. Don't let me down. You can be clutch. Give me a land. Oh, baby. I definitely don't need any more green, so I think you shall be red. And that gives us the ultimatum on the next turn if we can live. They do, of course, have, you know, a little bit of damage here, but we have the Sentinel to block with, so... you know, maybe. I'm gonna give it a hard maybe on this. All right, we'll go down to 6 here. That's all right. I've been lower and came back harder. I like to think, at least. Maybe I'm just making that up. Maybe I'm just a good storyteller. Maybe I'm not. Who knows? Magma, show me what you got here. I'm tired of talking in circles to myself. Dream troll. Oh, I don't have the blue. My genius self. All right, well, let's just Yugen it out then, huh? We drew into a land. Let's see if this can happen. They still have the mana for counter, or for, yeah, for counter. I said that right. But of course, if, you know, Yugen can land, we just -6 and get rid of everything. We get Kennen back, we get Zirda back. It'll be a great day. It'll be fantastic. I feel like some people have kind of forgotten about Yugen. It sort of falls to the wayside. There's the negate, and we call it a GG. I don't know why it took them 30 seconds to realize that that's what they wanted to do, but cool beans.